Joining me now is a UFC welterweight fighter who's coming off a big decision win over Platinum Mike Perry at UFC on Fox 28 in Orlando, Florida this past weekend. It is Max Griffin back on the program. Max, how are you? I'm doing good. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, it's great to catch up, and congratulations on this win. You went in there, I think, as the biggest underdog on the card, and you got the job done. And in flying colors, it wasn't. I mean, it was a competitive fight, but it was quite clearly, headed in your favor. Yeah. Let's be honest. You looked like a full-time fighter in there.
Hello, thank you, man. It was really different this time. Usually when I fight, it's stressful. It's you got a lot of nerves. It's happening so fast. This time it was slowed down, man. I was beyond comfortable, but it was just slow. I was calm in there. It was like a calming kind of feeling. It wasn't the same stressful environment it usually is. Man, it was great.
Why was it so different? Is that at all related to the fact that now you do this full time?
I think it could have something to do with it, partially. Instead, as of late, to begin the road to full time, that's all I think about. Fighting's all I think about. I don't have to go to work and talk this or that, go to a meeting and get off track from my task at hand. All I do now, every day, and I'm just getting ready for war. So it may be a different mentality, and I was just so comfortable. I mean, typically, if you ask any fighter, it's nerve-wracking in there. This time, it was weird. It was weird, man. It was slowed down. I felt so comfortable. I felt like I could do whatever I wanted in there. I felt like he had nothing for me. I felt like he was just moving in slow motion. And it was great, man.
It's interesting. You say that it was partially because you're a full-time fighter now. If that's only sort of half the reason, do you have any ideas as to the other side of it?
I think a lot of it's my mind state and my comfort level. I mean, I'm always confident in the fight and whatnot, but my coach always says, have fun out there. I remember even talking to Perry. I was saying stuff to him. I was busting him up, smiling at him. A little bit of banter in there. I remember when I broke his nose with a jab. I kind of smiled at him. He didn't like it, It was a lot different experience. Like, I was actually enjoying myself out there, and it was real calm. I've never fought like this before. It's always like how you want to fight, right? I want to do this, I want to do that, but, you get your nerves they get a hold of you, but this is my breakthrough fight. This is just a taste of what I'm going to start doing.
And I asked you back in January when we last spoke if you were at all concerned about leaving your job, and maybe it wouldn't pay off. I mean, you were coming off a loss. You definitely needed a victory here to maybe secure your job with the UFC. I don't think you'd get cut, but crazier things have happened. I guess now you really don't have to think about that. I know you weren't thinking about it then, but now off a win over Mike Perry, as you said, the biggest win of your career, you really do not have to think about, hey, did I make the wrong move?
Yeah, no, totally. It's funny because when I left my job, I went on an LOA, so I still had insurance benefits and whatnot for the meantime. But now I got to go up there to bring all my stuff back, my computer. It's great, man. I definitely made the right choice. I mean, I went all in, and it paid off big, paid off major.
I imagine there's no reason you would be not satisfied with the victory. I know you didn't get the finish, and everybody likes getting finishes, but over a tough guy like Mike Perry, could you have done any better? Is there any reason you weren't
I think it's
thrilled?
Better, honestly. I think it's better that I didn't finish him. I feel like I got to show a lot more by going that long, that I could do more. You know what I mean? I didn't take him out early. I got to bust him up, show my speed. So, some of my wrestling, show my cardio, my movement. I feel like I got to show a lot more. And it was real decisive. I mean, he got picked apart, I mean, he took some good punches and had, he landed some on me late, but I didn't feel him. He should know I had chin. I wasn't rocked whatsoever. All I had on my nose was a scratch from his fingernail. He needed to cut his nails because he cut my wrist, my bicep. That's all the damage I had, So it's a big win. Honestly, I feel better about it because I did drop him. I did hurt him. I kind of embarrassed him. That to me, there was a lot more wins in that win by making a decision than just finishing the guy.
Yeah. Do you feel like if you had gone out there and knocked him out with the second punch you threw, a lot of more fans would have been able to make the argument that hey, this was just a fluke, nothing more?
Yeah, it wasn't a fluke. I felt like because it went so long, I broke him, and you can't deny it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I did, when I was flipping some of the pitches, right when I dropped them, I was throwing those feints out there. And when it's like the last shot before I hit him with the right left, when I dropped them, I dodged those punches by like a half centimeter, So, to make them think I was right there. So I could counter. You know what I mean? So there was a lot of beautiful stuff in there if you really watch it. And I want to start doing more. And like I said, they got 15 minutes of seeing me fight, instead of just, 5. And it was on Fox. And I think it ended up being, it was over 2 million TVs. And that's just TVs on. I mean, how many TVs are on? How many people are on the TV? It's just a blessing to be able to get that done on the biggest stage.
You clearly won the first 2 rounds, and the third was a lot closer. 2 of 3 judges gave it to Perry. In that third round, did you know you just sort of had to not coast, because I think a lot of fighters take that word the wrong way, but you knew you sort of wanted to play it smart in that third round.
I wanted to stick to the game plan. If you watch the game plan originally, I wasn't going to come bang with them the last round just, to give him a chance. I wanted to beat him just like I did in the first round. I just knew he was in total desperation mode at that point. He tried to make me bang with them. He knows that's his only way to even have some sort of chance. So, it was tough to stay composed. But, I mean, I'm learning how to, stick to my game plan and being confident in what I'm doing. And this is the best stick to the game plan I've ever done. Even though, he did want to brawl. He did want to battle, especially in the third, But, I mean, it was too late for him, And like I said, I watched the fight and those strikes. I mean, the crowd got all pumped up out of them, but they weren't much, I promise you. I don't have any marks on me,
How much tape of Mike Perry's losses to Santiago Ponzinibbio and Alan Jouban did you watch? I'm sure you watched his wins as well, but did you...
I watched more Jouban. I really watched the Jouban thing. I really don't watch a lot of my opponent's fights. I do a little bit. But, I watched the losses, and I know Jouban pretty well, and I watched we used to lot out for Bluefield, just kind of seeing how he beat him. I mean, I was at that fight. That was in Sacramento. I was there to watch it live because that's where I'm from. And, I've seen all Perry's fights, If I knew I had to go back to that fight, I really didn't watch the Ponzinibbio that fight. I didn't think, it was a lot closer than me in his fight, That was a close fight. Ponzinibbio got kind of busted up a little bit, was getting hit a lot, So we used more the Jouban footage. But, yeah, I mean, these long guys, who gets beat by Perry? I mean, Perry beats these good guys. He's great. I mean, we were watching highlight tape after, like, he's pretty good. I just kind of played with them and outclassed them, So I feel like a lot of the media now is, not giving me too much credit because they counted me out so much. They're saying more, should Perry have fought me? I saw these articles about having the best guys fight and, that I derailed him and all this. And, I hope that's not the case. It's like they're taking away from me like he had a bad night instead of I actually did put him exactly where I want to put him and beat him there. You know what I mean?
That's actually something I wanted to talk to you a little bit later about, but since you brought it up, I might as well sort of just add on to that now. That's something I noticed as well, so I'm glad we're sort of on the same page. It's clearly you didn't just see it and no one else did. I saw a lot of people sort of... I don't think they were discrediting your performance, but I think a lot of people looked at how Mike Perry performed physically and just saw a different Mike Perry. Is there any truth to that, do you think, at least as far as you're concerned?
I made him fight like that. I know how Mike Perry fights. He has to come forward. You know, he throws big bombs. He tries to corner you on the cage. And, you know, he gets you. He's real slick. He moves his head and tries to get you to engage with him, you know, and then brawl with you. He'll square up, and so will you. And that's not a good idea to fight him. So we did not fight him there. We wanted to move around. He needs to plant. He's so flat-footed. He needs to be planted to throw. If I don't ever let him be planted to throw, when I throw, he can't hit me. So I was doing particular things. He was trying his hardest. He was in shape. You know what I mean? I just didn't. People don't understand that I fought the fight that I wanted him to fight. You know, he could never plant. And then when he thought I was going to plant, I busted him like a 3-4 punch combination. Got out of there, hurt him, busted him open, got out of there. You know, there's a lot more going on than the average viewer could see in that. You know. Honestly, if you watch like how close I split that one before the 2-3, or sorry, the 3-2 that dropped him, watch that part. I dodged that by like a half centimeter. You know what I mean? And then come and do that to him. So, I mean, just, yeah.
It has to be a little annoying seeing these people. Again, I don't think it's honestly, I mean, personally, I don't think it's necessarily totally discrediting your win, but still just thinking about the idea that maybe Perry wasn't who he is all the time. It must be annoying seeing that as the guy who won here.
Yeah. You know, I mean, but they'll find out, you know. It wasn't like a lucky fight. Like, he got dismantled. I mean, the strikes landed. I think in the third, someone told me like 76 to like 16 or something, like significant strikes and stuff, you know. And
he took the fight.
You know, yeah. But just in general, for me, I beat the pulp out of that guy. And I just seen a lot of the media is saying maybe he's not good as he thought he was. Well, look at all the guys he beat and what he did to them. He's a good fighter. Don't take that away from him. You know what I mean? They're acting like they're like turning their backs on him now because he got beat up so bad. But look at him. He beat Ellenberger. He beat all these guys that are legitimate. You know? So I feel like they're kind of taking away from both of us. You know? But I put on a great performance.
So you stayed in Orlando for a few days after the fight. How was that? I assume just sort of really relaxed, enjoyed vacation, all of that, and now you're back in California?
Yeah, I went to Orlando. I didn't plan any after parties until I win. I don't do that. I don't care about that, you know. So we win, and I called my girl, like, hey, call the club, tell her we want bottles, booths, let's do it big, you know. So we went to Ono after that. We got like 7 bottles. It was great. Had a good time. And then we went to Tampa the next day. Went to this pizza place. It was great. I was making pizza pies. Went to Tampa. We went to Busch Gardens. That was dope. Crazy roller coasters. Hella animals. We felt like a safari kind of thing. And then we went to St. Pete's Beach in St. Petersburg. It was so fancy, so nice. It was on the Gulf side. It was beautiful. I was on jet skis. We saw dolphins in the water on the jet skis. It was crazy, yo. It was great. White sand. It's beautiful, man. And now I'm back. I flew in to rainy California.
So is it back to training right away or still take a little time off?
I want to go back. Yeah, I really want to get back in there. But I'll go back Monday. My coaches are telling me, hey, man, take a few more days, man. So I'll take a week off. My hands are swollen, man. My fists are like balloons. I hit him with some shots. So I'm just recovering my legs. My legs are busted up from kicking them so much on his arms, on his head, his legs. So, yeah, I'll let it heal this week, just recover, and then be back to it. I'm eating a lot of food this week. All my buddies are taking me out to dinner, lunch. You know how it is.
That's awesome. Get the biggest win of your career and then feast on everything you can find.
Yep, yes, sir. And that was the last fight of my contract. So, you know, I think we'll be in good standing.
Very interesting. Any talks of re-signing yet? I know you just fought, but...
I mean, we sent something out. I mean, they're definitely interested. My manager sent a message out, and they're totally on board, So they seemed interested all the way.
I'm curious. I know you weren't worried about leaving your day job or anything like that, but in hindsight, now we can only talk about this in hindsight because it's over. You won the Mike Perry fight, but had you lost that fight, what do you think would have happened? I mean, it's not clear whether or not they would have re-signed you, I feel.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends how I would have lost. I don't even know how I would have lost to him, though. Honestly, man. It's like I was such an underdog, right? Such an underdog. I didn't even watch the fight. So you're thinking, like, should I really have been the underdog? Like, if you were to bet again in a rematch, what would the odds be,
Have you talked to the UFC directly? Have you talked to Sean Shelby about the actual win? Not necessarily contract negotiations, but has Shelby said anything to you on the win about the win?
No, I haven't talked to him yet.
Now, you gotta think this is a career-changing win. Mike Perry, he wasn't ranked, but he saw as a name because of his personality, and everybody likes him or dislikes him. Everyone has an opinion about Mike Perry, and that's what's made him fairly popular. This has to be career-changing. Do you agree?
I do, man. Like I said, to have this type of performance against a Mike Perry, it's a blessing, man. I'm so pumped for the future. I feel like it's like a fairy tale, dude. Just how it's going down, how I was able to do that to him. And everyone thought I was going to lose. Everyone picked him, So for me, it just helps. It helps my fire, like I was saying. Everyone thinks there's going to be a chance. I'm fighting him for a reason. I'm telling you. People don't understand that. When Sean Shelby makes these fights, even Cormier and them, it was real favorite towards dude, but hey, I beat him so soundly, and that's the best part. I beat him so fast, that it feels better.
Now, just one last thing about signing a new contract, hopefully. You made 12 and 12, so $24,000 in total for this fight disclosed. That isn't counting any, under the table bonuses or locker room bonuses you might receive in the future. I don't know if they decided to give you any or not. I gotta imagine you're looking for a fairly large increase in pay for your next contract?
No, totally. No, I want to get paid. I feel like I can get paid, honestly. I feel like I'm worth it, I almost won the distance with Colby Covington, first fight. Next fight, I knocked out the Ultimate Fighter winner for Latin America in under a minute. Next fight, I fight a guy on the freaking 7-fight win streak, Dos Santos, Zaleski, and beating him till I get hurt at the end of the first. Still come back, made a close fight, get fight of the night. In Brazil, get paid, and then I fight on Fox on the main card and fight Mike Perry and beat the pulp out of him. I feel like I'm an entertaining fighter, and I have a lot to offer.
If the UFC comes to you and gives you an offer you're not too interested in, they not enough money or not enough other things on a contract or a condition you don't like or something, whatever the case is, you're not a big fan of it, would you consider going to Bellator or going to another big organization if their offer is better, or do you want to stay in the UFC no matter what?
I do want to stay in the UFC, and I think they'll let me. Honestly, I feel like the owners know that I could do my job. It's about getting paid, though. If someone else has some lucrative offer, hey, I consider it, honestly. But, the people saw, what I could do. The world saw. It's just a blessing that I was able to do that, especially on my last part of my contract. And I do this, I do believe I need to be getting paid. Because people want to see me fight. I'm telling you, the world's going to want to see me fight these guys. I'm telling you, man.
Where do you feel like you sit in the division now with this win over Perry? I know he wasn't ranked, you're not ranked still, but do you feel like should you re-sign with the UFC, you should get a top 15 opponent next, or what do you want?
I want to be ranked, man. There's a lot of guys, so many guys. It's my dream. It's so crazy that this is happening. So, my dream is to just fight the best guy. And just keep beating them, Keep fighting, beating them, getting better. I'm just getting started here. This is like just the beginning. Like my next deal is going to be like the beginning of my career.
Why do you say that? Just because, almost as if the 4 fights first was a trial period, or why exactly do you say that?
This is like my breakthrough, man. Like a fighter, you always want to fight how you know you can fight and be ready. You know what I mean? Like this is my moment. Like a long time ago, like even Ultimate Fighter. I lost Ultimate Fighter years ago, man. 5-6 years ago, I was Ultimate Fighter, and I lost him at D-Core. I wasn't ready then. My ground game wasn't there. You know what I mean? Like if I would have got signed then, 5-6 years ago, I wasn't ready to compete like that. Now I could beat anyone in the world now. You know what I mean? Like that's my mentality. Back then, I haven't developed my wrestling, my jiu-jitsu, my boxing, Now I feel like I'm at a perfect time. I had my breakthrough fight against a guy that people are scared to fight. No one wanted to fight Mike Perry, especially at home. Man, I just schooled that fool, straight up. Thanked him. So I'm not to be taken lightly, and if anyone wants to, then, they'll find out too. But I just know that now is my time. Now I'm full-time. Like all the stars align, man. I'm a full-time fighter now. I know what I'm doing. I just fought on Fox on my last fight of my contract, do or die, And passion, flying colors, And it slowed down. So mentally, I'm there, man. Mentally, I'm where I want to beat anyone. Honestly. So, that's why I'm so excited. It's just all coming together.
It sure is. First, you got to re-sign a new contract, whether that's with the UFC or another organization, remains to be seen. According to you, hopefully it is the UFC. Should that all go smoothly? Should you re-sign? When do you want to get back in there? What date, month are you looking at? Do you have any sort of timetable yet?
What is it? What is it right now?
It's March 2nd.
It's March, yeah. March, April, May. Maybe May, June. I don't know. My leg just hurt, man. I got to get back in when I can, and then I'm, what's it, March, April, May, March, maybe May, June.
Fair enough. That sounds good.
I don't know, whatever,
All right, Max, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate the time. Congratulations once again on the big victory live on Fox. Mike Perry, huge win. Thank you again. Before I let you go, remind my audience where they can find you on social media, and if there's anybody you'd like to thank or give a shout out to, the floor is yours.
Man, find me. It's Max Payne MMA. Find me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. Max Payne MMA. Follow me on Facebook. It's Max Payne Griffin. I want to shout out First God for putting me here, man. It's crazy to be in this position and being able to fight like this and take care of business. Thank the UFC, the matchmaker Sean Shelby, my family, my gyms, Mary Nobles, MMA Gold, Frito MMA, Coach Doug, Carnage Jiu-Jitsu, some of my sponsors, IAB, the Turf House. I love you guys. I got so many. But thanks, Sacramento, man. You guys been holding me down. Thanks for support, everyone across the world. And we're just beginning, man. I love all you guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'm repping Sacramento hard, the West Coast, man. And the king is here. The Fat King is back. But I love you all, and let's keep it digging.